Man, there is no flash either.
It's also missing the end of it.
Yeah, whatever.
Can I have the suppressor there? Do we have?
Okay. So in today's video, we're gonna talk about Bullpup versus non-Bullpup. Together here with Joseph and Jeppe. We didn't actually prepare at all for this video besides getting guns that are Bullpup or no Bullpup, but we're just gonna talk about it now.
It's gonna be a fight.
Yes, it's gonna be a fight. So I was using a Bullpup gun in the army. I think it was alright.
I would start. Who's pro Bullpup? Sort of. Sort of. So we are undecided. But you are against, right? Yeah.
I can appreciate some sides of the concept, yes.
That's so correct.
Yeah.
You should be a politician.
Yes.
Thanks.
You have to decide. Okay, now you have to get one gun. One is Bullpup, the other one is not. And you haven't seen both guns. Which one just on top of your head? Which one do you choose?
I'd go with non-Bullpup.
Yeah.
Because the barreling is not an issue to me.
For you?
Is it a real steel or airsoft? Because in airsoft, it doesn't matter. The barrel length really doesn't matter. It's marginal. It's really super marginal.
But you need a certain barrel length to get the speed. You need that.
In the real steel, even more so. Is it a real steel or is it airsoft? If it's airsoft, I'm fine with Bullpup. I'm fine with long gun, like standard. If it's real steel, I would go for the safer Bullpup version, which definitely has the barrel length.
Oh, really? Okay.
If it's real steel, yeah. Because I don't know what gun it is, right? If I knew what the gun is, I would go for standard.
Okay, but what if I tell you, okay, now you take the Bullpup, but chances are really high that now you're gonna get an ugly gun.
If it works, I'm fine with that. It has to work.
What if it's an ugly Bullpup gun?
Okay, fine.
What? Just imagining it like. Man, if I'm gonna say this, people are gonna kill me. I think I'm gonna say it. I think the FN 2000 is an ugly gun.
But it ejects the casings forward, so you don't get slapped in the face if you switch shoulders.
So I've
here it goes down, which is super smart.
Yes.
I really like the P90. I used to own two P90s and it's a very smart gun. I really like it. But yeah, I'm TL, you know.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Did you guys ever shoot a real Bullpup?
No.
Because I shot the AUG and I shot the P90 as well.
You shot the P90?
I shot the P90.
You bastard.
Yeah, they have a definite Austrian military for the Jagdkommando, so I got to shoot it, and it's like it feels like a gas blowing rifle.
Yeah.
It's like bloop, bloop,
yeah, it
bloop,
doesn't
bloop,
do
bloop,
anything.
bloop. It doesn't do anything. Yeah, it barely moves.
Yeah.
It's so fun to shoot.
But the great thing about it is it uses rifle ammunition. It's like small version of 5.56, so it can still penetrate body armor, soft body armor.
That was the idea.
Isn't it like a dual-purpose ammo? Like
Yes,
it was intended to be used both with a pistol and an SMG?
Yes, that's true.
Yes, you can even get a pistol 5.7. It's actually called 5.7, which is the diameter of the bullet, which is smaller than an airsoft BB. Just imagine that. It's smaller, but it's super fast. So when it impacts, it's like bam.
Yeah, that's what they saw when they made the requirement list for the ammunition. It's like pistol and rifle, and when it hits, it must be like.
Was it impact energy slap level?
What?
Impact energy slap level.
Yes. It's gotta be like, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
And then the engineers just made it.
You are designing ammunition for rifles, so what the requirement could be like.
Yeah.
It is what it is, right?
So maybe not everybody even understands what's Bullpup and what's not Bullpup. Maybe we should put that at the beginning of the video.
This is a Bullpup.
So the basic idea of Bullpup is that you know, on a normal gun, so you have the magazine here at the front.
So I have the standard rifle. The magazine is in front of your shooting hand, like a trigger
It's in
finger.
front of the trigger, yeah. And on a Bullpup, now you move it back, and what you get is this. Actually, you can see it. Okay, if this gun would work, you have like
Austrian military dude.
who assembled this gun. Okay.
You already went into the drill stuff that you have to do like 1,000 times, just disassembling the gun.
The barrel just goes until here basically. And what you get now is a very compact AR-15 sized gun with a really long barrel, and this just drives up the speed of the round,
Yes.
which it does not damage. Or what you can also do, you can now bring down the length of the gun and still have like a sufficient inner barrel for the speed that you would have with a longer gun. So you just make it either more efficient or more compact, which sounds great. Like when you think about it, you know, in the very beginning, it's like, why could this be a disadvantage? Why the hell would you put the magazine there if you can use like the entire length of your gun for the barrel?
It sounds like a great idea until you dig deeper.
Yes.
And until you actually start using the gun.
So yeah, but what's your problem with Bullpup?
You can't change the length of the stock. They always have the same length. So some people want it a bit shorter, some people want it a bit longer. You can't change that. The other issue is for real steel shooting, where you always like want to shoulder your weapon correctly. It's not a problem. For airsoft, most people tend to not actually brace for recoil. Even people who quite often try to imitate it, they're not doing like the full absorption or whatever. It's always a bit loose.
Yeah, they're not pulling the gun into the shoulder as you should actually.
But I think what he means is more like the position of the
gun. It's both. And when you have a normal gun, you can pretty much position it wherever you want. People they tend to play a bit like this. They have like the stock hovering around and they'll be like, oh, there's an enemy, and then they shoot.
Yeah.
Can you show it to the camera? Turn to the side so the camera.
And in airsoft, this is not an issue. But if the gun would be kicking back, like
whoa, don't kick too hard, man.
Can you try to show how, like, imitate the recoil when you shoulder it properly and not?
Okay, I'm gonna do it.
I can actually do it, so I'm gonna imitate the recoil. And it's going straight.
Shooting a film simulating a 50 caliber.
I've shot them, it's not that bad. Okay, but now when I'm an airsoft player, the thing is that I try to get
I'm gonna do it just like, a little bit.
Yeah, it's
like the gun just
it pops over your shoulder and you smash your face with the scope.
Actually, that's how it's called, the scope kiss. It's called scope kiss.
Okay.
So usually it happens to girls, but to dudes as well if they don't know what they are doing. So they aim with the scope and they don't shoulder it properly, and when they shoot, the scope actually
kisses them
here, and then start bleeding, and then it's like, oh, what should I do with the gun?
So most people, they don't always do like this or come around a corner and brace it fully. It's always a bit chill. Well, the problem is that the position of the magazine gets in the way of playing like this. That's very uncomfortable with the magazine, and the rifle starts to tilt.
So it's the mag, not the stock actually. It's the mag.
It's generally the mag. You could say it's both as well, because the stock is huge. It could be smaller. Normally in airsoft you would try and play a bit more like this. And you don't have to be super optimized and everything, but most people, they tend to just hold like this when they shoot, or just touch it. And that just doesn't...
And is that a good thing or a bad thing?
That's just how people play. It's the most comfortable, normal, optimal. I mean, you don't have to like support. You can just touch it slightly, and that's enough to hold an AG steady.
Yeah, that's true. In airsoft, but the gun is actually correcting for your mistakes. Sorry.
Well, you say it's more like
it's foolproof.
I would say
no, you can still bring it.
I would say it's designed for a normal shooting position. It doesn't take into consideration that you want to hold airsoft style, which is fine. I mean, it's a real steel design.
Okay, what's a normal stock position for you? Can you adjust it? Just like
it should actually sort of touch.
Yeah, I know. Okay, adjust it how you would shoot it. Is that like normal?
I would shoot it like this. It feels good. I wouldn't make it longer.
Okay, let's see. So it's quite a bit longer. When you adjust the stock in an AR-15, that's like 2 positions, maybe 1 position. So it's quite long, and the AUG being a heavy gun in real steel, now your grip is quite far to the front. It's like the weight is in the back, I give you that, but at the same time it's just a heavy gun and the weight is on a hand that's quite far away from your body, which makes the gun really hard to keep it up there. For airsoft, I see how this is a problem, but now let's go into real steel. So you shoot, you want to do a change, like a shoulder change, and now those cartridges, which they usually ejected here, the cartridges just hit you in the face.
Yeah, you can do that.
And I asked the guy
so you know you still have ammo. You're not right
The gun is still shooting.
So I asked the guy who trained me at the military.
You can put your hand in there, right? That's
Okay.
what they do.
Yeah, so I asked him, so how is it? Like if I do a transition to the left shoulder, the first thing that they said, we don't do transitions to the left shoulder at the Austrian military. But if you have to do it, and it's really important, you just eat the fucking bullets.
I guess.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
people are shooting at you.
Exactly. So when people are shooting at you, who cares if like the cartridges hit your face? But I think that's wrong because even if you're in a stress situation and you try to take the shot and maybe there's like 3 guys and you need to take 3 shots and you take the first one and then something hits you like in your eye or something.
I see a much bigger problem. Let's say you are a tough motherfucker and you don't care.
Yeah.
What happens is, I'm gonna try to do it like this. You put your head here and then you actually block the exit.
Nah, now you have to look through the scope.
Okay,
man.
I'm looking through the scope.
That's how you look through the scope.
I'm looking through the scope,
Yeah.
but now I cause a malfunction because the brass stays in there and it just doesn't allow to operate the gun. So I'm effectively rendering this gun useless.
Just open your mouth and like collect
Yeah.
brass.
You just have a cartridge collector.
And then you can reuse the casing and you can like reload them.
You can bring them right back
Yes.
to Walmart and get your money back.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
that's another disadvantage. What they also say that you can do is, I don't recall exactly, man, it's so long ago, but
The gun
Do
is
that under
safe.
stress.
There is no BBs, there is no batteries, so we
Yeah,
are allowed
true.
to aim at each other.
people put the hand here, and I think the idea is the same as the brass reflector on an AR. So you have it here, and your hand reflects the brass to the front.
But if you do it too much, it stays inside. If your gun is not working, that means you are fucked. Anyways, let's move on to
Let's
the
move
next
forward.
thing.
Okay, so this is a disadvantage in real steel, but not in airsoft. Like in airsoft, doesn't matter. I can
Airsoft,
just, go ahead.
If we have the P90, that's not an issue because the brass comes out here, which is super cool. Like,
Yes.
I love Stargate.
And it's fully ambidextrous. Also,
Yes.
actually, another issue with the AUG is you want to put it on fire. You grip it and you go like, bam! Now it's on fire. Now I can shoot. Okay, now I transition and I put it back on safe.
And now you can fire.
It's not really made for.
It's definitely harder to train with.
It's more of a jump into a room and turn around gun because they are in theory shorter and the weight is in the back,
Yes.
so you turn around,
Yes.
you target transition faster at least.
Huge advantage of bullpup design is when you actually have to live with the gun. It's shorter, it's probably lighter because the barrel is like, it's part of the gun, like more in the back. So if you have to live with it, if you have to drive cars with this, it's just much more comfortable because how much are you actually shooting in the military or in a warfare? It's probably once in a month, but you are carrying the rifle every single day. So I can imagine people like it for this particular reason, that it's just more compact and you can put it somewhere and it doesn't take too much space.
Look at this.
That is so compact.
That's just.
It's basically like a rectangle.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what it was.
That's how this thing. Man, you can have it with 1 point sling probably under your arm while you're driving.
Yeah. It was actually designed for drivers and tank crews and people that have to be in confined spaces.
It was designed for people with weird magazine pouches.
Okay, there is no BBs, obviously.
There's no gearbox.
But there
in
is
there.
no batch.
There's no gearbox in there.
So one of the interesting things is when armies have some type of bullpup weapon,
Yeah.
you quite often see that the subunits or maybe the special forces, they all use something else instead. They use a CQB sized M4 instead of the bullpup weapon that the main departments have.
So which armies do use it? The French army use the FAMAS.
Yes.
Then we have the Austrian army and the Australian army using the AUG.
Mm.
Then we have the Israeli army using the Tavor.
Oh yeah.
And
They also use M4 and other stuff like in parallel.
Yeah.
I think it also depends on the purpose of the unit, maybe. If your purpose is to guard President of the United States of America, you are probably going for something like this because it's concealed. 24/7.
No guard actually watches and he's like, bullshit, I use a...
No, I believe they actually do use P90s, like
Maybe, yeah.
like the Trump guard.
Only use American guns.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
No, I'm pretty sure about this. I'm gonna look it up.
Okay.
But if you are in a warfare 24/7, you probably want
Go.
the AK because it works. I don't know.
Hey, it's an Austrian gun, okay, it works.
Secret Service of the United States.
Yeah.
Current weapons: FN P90, Heckler & Koch MP5, which is like 40, 50-year-old gun.
I mean, that's a
Interesting.
pretty old gun as well.
1990 designed.
Yeah, firearm is pretty young.
Yeah, I mean everything is pretty old when you think about it these days. Like 1911 pistol, and we are still using 1911s. So if you think about it, there was no real progression in this area. Like, what's next?
Oh.
Oh.
A lot of gunsmiths and manufacturers are gonna get angry now.
Yeah.
It's the same basic technology. Come on, you cannot argue with that.
Yeah, I guess.
So they are using the P90 for some reason, and I think it's concealability. Yet you have 50 rounds in the magazine.
But wait, there's more.
What?
It's like you're presenting a TV product or something. If you call in now, you will get not only one, not only two, but 3 magazines with clips.
With
Like, you know, like the clips to hold them together.
two
You can actually
rotating-
get that. You can get for P90, you can actually get like clip adapters, and then you have one magazine that sits here and one that sits here, and you go like click, click, that exists, and it's.
And for Airsoft, the most stupid thing people see doing to this pretty sexy, amazing gun, they put a converter there and they stick AR-15 magazines.
That's so smart.
It's 5.56.
Yeah, but whatever, it works, man. So
Yeah,
it doesn't
even
work with
better.
the reload, right?
It's a different. Okay, I'm out of here. Just finish the video. I'm out of here.
Just joking. Okay, let's wrap it up. Advantages: longer barrel, it's compact.
You can get the same barrel in a shorter package
Yes.
with Bullpup. Maneuverability.
I think the one advantage is just it's compact.
And compact
Yeah, so-
only really means you can get more barrel length in the same total rifle length.
Disadvantages: I cannot change the stock lengths. Nobody apparently uses it in Airsoft. Sometimes they have really awkward magazines, like here on the P90. We have to cut the video right here. We cannot make a conclusion. We can make a conclusion, but actually we want to hear your guys' opinion: Bullpup versus non-Bullpup. Have you used them? How did you feel about it? Did you miss anything? Again, let us know in the comments below, and then we see you guys for another discussion here at the Norwich Technical Channel.
Was that really a discussion or fight?
I think it was
I have
yeah.
this opinion. I have this opinion.
Well, it's because we all hate bullpup weapons.
I actually don't hate them.
I don't hate them either.
I like the basic.
Especially the P90.
Yes. Okay, let's
Let's wrap it up.
wrap it up.